Okay, here we go with the inquiry lab. And you, if you haven't, are going to be watching some short videos on what each of these things are for a lab report in the scientific method format. So first off, a title and an introduction. These are where we're giving the reader some information about this lab. Well, since we're just starting this, we might not know that much about it. So we're going to skip these right now and move right down to our problem statement to figure out what this lab is about. It says, which of the objects has a larger volume? A softball, a block of wood, or a metal pipe? Pretty simple. It says, make your hypothesis below and also explain why you made your selection. Great. Well, our hypothesis here is what we think is going to be the answer, what we're stating is the answer to this problem. And I've put if, then, because. Please see your video on a hypothesis to see what this means. We have to have these three words in here for a hypothesis. If we are to find which object, a softball, block of wood, or metal pipe, has a larger volume, then this is where you'd say which one you pick to be the answer, and because, give your reasoning for that answer. Great. So then we go on to materials. So we already have the softball, the block of wood, and the metal pipe. We are also going to have a ruler, a piece of string, a calculator, perhaps a Sharpie marker, maybe your writing utensil, and a triple beam balance. Next, we'll get into the procedures. But before we do that, I want to take you to the next section where we will be recording our information. Here is the data table. So during the lab, we're going to record all information in this data table. You'll see we have block of wood information, metal pipe information, and softball information. There are some boxes for the measurements you need to take. And then the actual calculation you do to find the volume for a block of wood, a metal pipe, and a softball. There's then the portion down here where after you have completed this portion of the lab, you will graph that information. Remember, a graph is sort of part of the results section. It's just a visual presentation of the information from your data table. Then you will see that there is a second portion of this lab. It says extension. Calculate which object, the softball, metal pipe, or the block of wood, is more dense. So now we're not talking about volume, we're talking about density. And here's our formula. Density equals the mass of the object, so we'll use the triple beam balance here to mass each object, divided by the volume. The volume we've already figured out. It's in our data table. Okay? So then we'll mass it, we'll calculate the volume, and then do the density formula to figure that out. Please make sure you have units on your answers. On the back page is our space for a conclusion, and then a few discussion questions. And again, we've given these to you. Okay, you don't have to sort through these and find these in the procedures as you go. All right? Please consult your short videos for how to write a lab report if you have any questions on how to address each of these sections of the lab report.